TV after 65 is shrinking your memory. Do this instead to stay sharp. Have you ever sat down to watch just one episode and suddenly it's dark outside and you've gone through half a season? Or maybe you find yourself turning on the TS for some background noise, but before you know it, hours have slipped away. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And if you're over 65, this quiet habit might be doing more harm than you think, especially to your memory. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Come on, what harm could a little TV do? It's relaxing, it keeps me company, it helps pass the time. And yes, in moderation, watching your favorite shows can be a nice way to unwind. But here's the truth. When television becomes your main companion day after day, your brain starts to slow down. Not because you're getting older, but because it's not being used the way it needs to be. Let's be real here. Nobody warns you about this part of aging. Everyone talks about aches and pains or gray hair and sore knees. But memory, mental sharpness, that can sneak up on you in the quietest ways. And one of the biggest culprits, it's sitting right in your living room. In this video, we're going to talk about why too much TV after 65 can actually hurt your memory. And more importantly, what you can do instead to stay sharp, feel alive, and keep that beautiful brain of yours active and alert. Let's start with something simple. Why does TV affect your memory in the first place? The answer lies in how your brain works. Your brain is like a muscle. It stays strong when it's used, challenged, and stimulated. Watching TV is passive. You sit, stare, and absorb. The storyline, the dialogue, the movement, it's all handed to you, ready-made. There's no effort required. And over time, that constant passivity tells your brain, I don't need to work hard anymore. So it doesn't. Connections weaken, recall slows down, attention span shrinks. And just like a muscle that's never used, parts of your brain that control memory begin to wither. Now, I'm not saying you need to throw out your TV or cancel your favorite shows, but we do need to be mindful of how much time we spend in front of it and what we're giving up in exchange. Have you noticed that after a long evening of TV, your mind feels foggier? Maybe you struggle to remember where you put your keys, or you forget why you walked into a room. It's not because you're getting old. It's because your brain isn't getting the stimulation it craves. You see, your memory doesn't just fade with age. It fades when it's not exercised. And that's the first thing I want you to remember today. If you want a sharp memory after 65, you have to keep your brain active, really active, not just entertained. And that brings us to our first powerful shift. Replace passive watching with active engagement. Let me give you an example. Instead of watching a full hour of TV every night, take 15 minutes and try this instead. Grab a crossword puzzle or a brain game. Doesn't have to be fancy. Even something as simple as Wordle, Sudoku, or a classic jigsaw puzzle can fire up your brain in ways television never could. These activities demand focus, problem solving, memory recall, and pattern recognition. All the things your brain needs to stay in shape. And here's the fun part. Many people say after just a week of doing these kinds of activities daily, they notice a difference. They feel sharper. They recall conversations more clearly. They find words faster. That mental fog, it begins to lift. Now let's go a little deeper, because memory isn't just about brain exercises. It's also about your emotions and connections with others. And that leads us to the second change that can make a massive impact. Replace isolation with real conversation. TV is often a companion when we feel alone. It fills the silence, but it also keeps us from reaching out. And when we stop talking to others, really talking, with back and forth conversation, listening, reacting, laughing, our brains lose one of their most powerful forms of stimulation. Conversation, unlike TV, forces your memory to work. You have to recall names, stories, past events. You have to stay engaged, respond, empathize. That kind of brain activity strengthens your neural pathways in ways no TV show ever could. So here's something you can try today. Call someone, a friend, a grandchild, a neighbor. Doesn't have to be a long talk. Just 10 minutes of real connection where you share stories, ask questions, laugh, and listen. You'll be amazed at how energized your mind feels afterward. And if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of people to talk to nearby, don't worry. There are book clubs, walking groups, and community centers, many of them online now, where you can meet like-minded people and connect. Even a short video chat or a shared online game can work wonders. And let's not forget, the more we engage socially, the less we feel the urge to sit in front of a screen for hours. The loneliness fades, the need for background noise disappears, and life starts to feel fuller. You see, when you replace passive habits with active ones, whether it's a brain puzzle, a daily conversation, or even reading a book instead of watching a show, you're doing more than protecting your memory. You're telling your brain, I still need you, I still value you, I'm not done growing. Because you're not. You've still got decades of life ahead, and they can be filled with energy, clarity, and joy. And speaking of growing, let's talk about something many of us tend to forget after retirement: the importance of learning something new. That's our next step toward protecting your memory and even sharpening it. You see, when we're younger, our brains are constantly being challenged. New jobs, new skills, raising a family, navigating technology. But after 65, once things settle down, that daily demand to learn something often disappears. We slip into routine. And while routine can feel safe and comfortable, it can also be one of the sneakiest enemies of mental sharpness. Your brain thrives on novelty. Every time you try something new, whether it's learning a dance move, figuring out how to use a new app, or even following a new recipe, it wakes up parts of your brain that have been snoozing. That spark of curiosity, that little challenge to figure something out. That's like fertilizer for your memory. So ask yourself this: when was the last time you truly learned something brand new? Something that challenged you, not just entertained you. If you can't remember, maybe it's time to pick something up again. Not for a grade, not to impress anyone, but simply to give your brain a fresh breeze of activity. And this doesn't mean you need to enroll in a university unless you want to. It could be as simple as watching a YouTube tutorial on watercolor painting, or joining a free online course about history, photography, or how to play the ukulele. The internet is filled with resources tailored for seniors who want to keep learning without stress. Even better, combine learning with movement. That's our next secret weapon. Because here's something most people don't realize. Your body and your brain are deeply connected. When your body is active, your brain is too. Think about it. Have you ever gone for a walk and come back feeling mentally refreshed? Or started moving around after sitting for a while and suddenly remembered something you'd forgotten all day? That's not a coincidence. Physical movement literally pumps more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. It lights it up, and it doesn't take much. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. Just 10 to 15 minutes of movement, stretching, walking, dancing around the kitchen, even light gardening, can make a huge difference in how clearly you think and how well you remember. And here's a simple tip that blends everything we've talked about so far. The next time you feel the urge to turn on the TV, just for a bit, try taking a walk around your home instead. Or stretch while listening to music. Or better yet, call someone and chat while you walk. That way you're engaging your body and your brain at the same time. Double the benefit. Now let's talk about something else that often flies under the radar when it comes to memory: the power of mindfulness. Now before you roll your eyes, no, I'm not talking about meditating on a mountain or sitting in silence for an hour. I'm talking about something very simple: being present, tuning into what you're doing right here, right now. You see, when we spend hours watching TV, we tend to zone out. Our brains shift into autopilot. And over time, that habit of checking out mentally creeps into other parts of life. We start forgetting things not because our brains are broken, but because we were never fully present in the first place. Practicing mindfulness helps bring us back. It sharpens attention, strengthens awareness, and improves recall. And it doesn't have to be complicated. The next time you're eating a meal, try putting the remote away. Taste each bite, notice the flavors, or when you're washing dishes, feel the warm water on your hands. Listen to the sound of the faucet. These tiny moments of awareness add up, and they train your brain to stay alert. Even 5 minutes of deep breathing in a quiet space, no phone, no screen, can reduce mental fog and bring clarity. It sounds too simple, but it works. People who practice mindfulness, even in small ways, report better focus, better sleep, and yes, better memory. And speaking of sleep, that's another important piece of this puzzle. Because no matter how many brain games or conversations or walks you take, if you're not getting quality sleep, your memory will suffer. You might be surprised to learn that excessive TV time, especially in the evening, can directly mess with your sleep. The bright screen, the rapid cuts, the noise and stimulation, it all tells your brain, stay awake, even when your body is tired. When we're younger, we might get away with that. But after 65, sleep becomes sacred. That's when the brain organizes memories, clears out toxins, and recharges itself for the next day. So if we're glued to the screen until midnight, or falling asleep to the sound of a TV show, we're robbing our brains of their most powerful tool for staying sharp. Try this instead. Create a gentle bedtime routine. Turn off the TV at least an hour before bed. Dim the lights. Listen to calming music or read something light. Maybe journal a few thoughts. That last hour before sleep should be a wind down for your brain, not a final burst of stimulation. Many people find that once they cut down nighttime screen time, they fall asleep faster and wake up clearer. It's one of the easiest ways to reset your brain's natural rhythm. And just like that, you've taken back control, one small habit at a time. You're no longer letting the TV shape your days, dull your mind, and steal your sharpness. You're choosing instead to engage, to move, to connect, to grow. It's not about giving up TV completely. It's about balance, about choosing moments that make you feel alive, not numb. That stimulate, not sedate. Because even after 65, especially after 65, your brain wants to thrive. And it will if you give it what it needs. And here's something truly beautiful to remember. It's never too late to make a change. Your brain, even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, is capable of rewiring itself. Scientists call it neuroplasticity, but all that really means is your brain is always learning, always adapting, and always ready to grow, if you give it the chance. So let's build on what we've talked about. You've learned how replacing passive watching with active engagement keeps your brain sharp. You've seen how real conversation and social connection light up your memory. You've discovered the power of learning new things, moving your body, being mindful, and getting better sleep. But there's one more piece we haven't talked about yet. And for many people, it's the hardest one to notice until it becomes a real problem. I'm talking about emotional health. You see, when you sit in front of a screen for hours, especially if it's out of habit or loneliness, it can mask deeper feelings. Boredom, sadness, even grief or isolation. And over time, those unspoken emotions take a toll, not just on your mood, but on your memory too. Studies have shown a strong link between emotional well-being and cognitive performance. When we feel low, withdrawn, or anxious, our ability to remember, concentrate, and think clearly all take a hit. It's like the brain is working under a cloud. TV can become a way to escape those feelings. And while distraction might feel good in the moment, it doesn't actually heal anything. What your brain truly craves isn't distraction. It's connection, purpose, and joy. So how do you begin to feed that emotional side of your brain? Start small. Do something every day that brings you a spark of joy. It could be tending a plant, writing in a journal, listening to your favorite music, baking an old family recipe, volunteering if you're able to. Helping someone else can be one of the fastest ways to feel more alive. And if you feel stuck, like that joy is hard to find, don't be afraid to reach out. Talk to someone, a friend, a family member, even a counselor. There is no shame in saying, I feel a little off and I want to feel better. In fact, that's one of the bravest things you can do, because emotional strength and memory go hand in hand. Another way to lift your emotional energy and boost your memory along with it is through creativity. Remember that? The creative spark? It lives in all of us, even if it's been buried for decades. Did you used to draw, write poems, build birdhouses, take photographs, create silly little songs? Whatever it was, there's no rule that says you can't pick it back up again. Creative expression engages the parts of your brain that make new connections. It invites your imagination to come out and play again. And best of all, it's fun. Many seniors who return to creative hobbies report feeling like themselves again. Not just someone filling time, but someone living time. One woman I spoke to started painting watercolors for the first time at 74. She said, "It's like my brain wakes up with every brushstroke. I even sleep better after I paint." That's the power of creativity. It brings your whole self back online. Now here's a little exercise I want to leave you with. The next time you feel the pull of the remote, just pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this what I really need right now? Maybe the answer is yes. You've had a full day and just want to relax, and that's okay. But maybe you need something deeper. Maybe your brain is asking for something more. A walk, a call, a puzzle, a story, a memory. Trust that voice, the one that says, I want to stay sharp. I want to keep growing. I want more than this chair and that screen. Because that voice, that desire is the key to everything. You are not fading. You are evolving, and you have more power over your mental health than you've ever been told. Let's do a quick recap, not like a checklist, just a gentle reminder of the new habits you can begin exploring. Spend less time watching and more time doing. Engage your brain actively, whether through games, learning, or simple curiosity. Talk to people. Real conversations, even short ones, keep your memory fresh and your heart full. Move. A little motion every day keeps your brain in better shape than any TV show ever could. Practice mindfulness. Be present. Notice the little things. They matter more than you know. Guard your sleep. Let your brain rest fully so it can wake up strong. Care for your emotions. Feed your joy. Heal your heart. It's all connected. And finally, create. Express, play, build, color, sing. Make something with your own hands. Your own mind. That's where real memory lives, not just in what you remember, but in how you experience life. If this video spoke to you, I want to invite you to share your thoughts below. What are you doing to keep your mind sharp after 65? What little changes have made a difference for you? You never know, your story might inspire someone else who's just starting their journey. And if you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up. And consider subscribing for more videos just like this. We're building a community here, a place where wisdom, energy, and joy keep growing long after retirement. Remember, the best years of your life aren't behind you. They're still unfolding right now. You have the power to shape them with every choice you make, and the more you use your beautiful mind, the stronger it gets. So here's to staying sharp, staying joyful, staying you. TV doesn't get to write your story, you do.